All right, you have a lot of really great sources for the women's liberation radical feminist term. I've given you some images there of the protest, a couple of my favorite ones. You've got their 10 points document to look over. There's a really fantastic article from the Smithsonian Magazine written by Roxane Gay that kind of outlines the protest itself, talks about that myth of bra burning, looks at, what else was in there that I wanted to point out to you in that article? Looks at the document too, that I like, she refers to it as a woman festo, which I like. And then also she talks a little bit about the Black Miss America pageant that happens also as a means of protest. So definitely check out that article. And then I've got just kind of a fun little 2-minute clip about somebody that was a participant in the 1968 Miss America pageant. And she has a different interpretation of the pageant itself. So I don't know, I think you'll find that interesting. And then what I wanted to address though, 2 things. First, this idea of that label, the radical feminist. You know, feminism, if you look up the term itself, the definition of feminism is the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. Let me say that again. The political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. Radical? Like, shouldn't be radical, right? Just talking about being equal. But that's radical. So think about that name, right? What makes this radical? They often refer to themselves as women liberationists, but also radical feminists. Those 2 terms are kind of interchangeable. But another thing that I have on your outline there that I just wanted to point out to you is the idea of consciousness raising. And that's something else that happens in the second wave. And the phrase that comes from this is the personal is political. And what that means is women would come together and they'd talk about their lives. They, you know, if they had jobs, they might mention that they had been sexually harassed, or if they were in abusive relationships, they might discuss that. And all their lives, they had been told, we don't talk about that. That's personal. Don't talk about that stuff. But when women came together and started talking about this with one another, they realized, wait, you're experiencing that? Because I'm experiencing that too. That was the raising of their consciousness and realizing that they weren't alone in this. And then that's where that phrase, the personal is political, is they realized the way they needed to make the change is to say, well, this is personal, but it's political. Like, this is part of the problem. A modern day connection to that phrase, the personal is political, would be the Me Too movement, right? Just in the way that social media was used for women and others to share, like, these are the ways that I was attacked or insulted or not treated equally. And then, you know, with the hashtag Me Too, and some people were surprised, like, I had no idea this was happening. The same sort of response is with that personal is political, right? Is recognizing that this is happening, and it's a shared experience, and the way we change it is by fighting against it. All right, if you've got any questions, comments, leave those in the discussion board or send me an email. Take care.